And welcome to the Inside Texas Football YouTube channel, powered by InsideTexas.com. We got breaking news, and Coach Williams, Javion Cole, San Jose State cornerback, up transfer from Cal Poly. He has announced here on Sunday afternoon that he's committed to the Longhorns. Visited this past weekend, and Auburn was a school thought to be involved, but it looks like he has shut down his process and will be heading to Texas in short order.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's a big time get. Great kid, great athlete, man. I'm really excited about this one.
You obviously in your role as a helping out at UTSA, or excuse me, UNLV. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You were in a Mountain West program, a very successful Mountain West program. You were able to see this kid live. You also scouted a lot of his game, his film. What are some things that stand out about Javion Cole?
Yeah, just how fluid of an athlete it is. I mean, he has great hips, great footwork. He really understands leverage, where he's supposed to be on the field. You see him out there coaching up other guys, pointing out route combinations, calling it out before the play. He's a very, very smart football player. He sees the game like a free safety, pretty much, a safety playing corner. And it's just a guy that won't have many coverage busts. He's a guy you tend to stay away from on the field. When you line up, you always want to know where he's at on the field and go elsewhere. But he's just a really, really talented DB, man. And I think it's a great addition to Texas. Someone with understanding, match quarters defense, what they played a lot at San Jose State. But he also has the physical tools to play man defense and press and run with some of the better receivers, in the nation. So I think that's what you'll see out of him. And that's what we kind of scouted at UNLV, and that's what I saw in person and on film.
So UNLV, for anybody not familiar, had one of the best wide receivers in the country this past year. He's going to stay at UNLV, kind of surprisingly. And in Mountain West play, you got to see Javion Cole go up against him. So when he was playing one of the best wide receivers in the country, what did you see in that game?
Well, very surprising, knowing that San Jose State played a lot of match quarters. One of the very first plays we went at him, he lined up man-on-man press against Ricky White. Like I said, one of the best receivers in the nation, able to press and run, stay with him. One of the most impressive things is he knew exactly where he was, and able to get his head back and find the ball at the last second and knock it away. It just showed his ability to say, hey, it doesn't matter if you're the best receiver. I'm going to step out here and play man coverage versus you and see where I stack up at. And to see him do that, one of the very first plays, I thought was very, very impressive. It kind of set the tone for the defense and what they could do against us at UNLV.
Now, when you talk about Texas being or him having a lot of experience in quarters, how does that translate to? I mean, we can kind of figure out that this is a player who's stepping in or competing for the spot that Terrence Brooks just left when he went to the portal. So when you're playing that field corner position, how does that? What makes him a good fit for that spot, especially in Pete Kwiatkowski's defense?
Yeah, so just a guy you can trust out there in the field. He's not going to have many coverage busts. A lot of people like to run switch vertical routes versus match quarters. He's the guy that's going to stay on top of the receiver's shoulders, so he won't get beat on deep post route or anything like that. He's not going to get confused. He's going to know what's coming before the snap is coming. Based on alignment from receivers, like he's just a smart kid, understands the game, and just recognizes what's going to happen, pre-snap and post-snap. So he's able to call out, point it out, and that's exactly what you need. A guy out there on the island who can communicate just like he's the quarterback of the defense. I think it really helps. And him at Texas, it'll definitely help with such a kind of a young secondary, as you want to say, at corner on the other side. And, with Derek Williams been in his second year, even though you have Michael Taft, but it just gives you another veteran guy who has the understanding of match quarters, cover 3, cover 4, whatever you want to call palms, and has the great understanding of that, and he's able to execute.
Now, was you were able to basically watch a lot of different corners working for Inside Texas. You got some access to some film. You saw one that transferred to another SEC school, one that's another guy trying to make an up transfer. Do you think he's the best one of the guys that you evaluated?
I do, and I think he's the best fit for what Texas does on defense. Sorry about that. What he ran at Cal Poly, and then when he ran at San Jose State. And it's just kind of a tidbit that most people don't know. Coach Nansen coached a defensive back by the name of CJ. Oh, wow, now I'm going blank. I can't think of CJ's last name. But CJ worked with me at UNLV, and he played with Coach Nansen at USC. Before UNLV, CJ worked at Cal Poly, so he kind of knew Cole, right? And then, CJ tried to get the analyst job at Texas. So you got kind of a relationship there, and some guy who already knows the defense that's been taught and has a relationship with Coach Nansen. I think he's the best guy, like I said before, but the best fit, and it's somebody that Coach Nansen, knows a bit about and has a great history with. So I think it's just a great fit overall.
So I see this comment. Is the scheme changing because Texas basically plays a 20-yard prevent? No, they don't, with an 8 to 12-yard cushion. I'm sorry, that's not the case. Quarters does play four defensive backs back. Yep. It is quarters coverage. It's not necessarily cover four, but it's a way to think about that. But I think the point to this question is he someone that can get on the line of scrimmage and go mano a mano?
Yeah, I think what makes Javion special is you won't know if he's playing quarters, match quarters, or cover four or not, right? He's going to give you different looks. He's going to give the receiver different looks. He's going to get up like his press man, maybe play a little press bell. Sometimes he may play off. He may play the sticks and play catch technique. It really just depends, but he has a lot of tools in his bag to where, he can kind of confuse the receiver and confuse the offensive coordinators because you never know how he's going to line up. And then he's able to play, to the defense that's called. So really, you might see him play 8 to 12 yards off, but he also may be in the face of the receiver playing press. You just never know.
One of the things that I think is very impressive about this addition is if you go and look at his Pro Football Focus stats, which, it is what you make of it. But when you're looking at Pro Football Focus and you see, I like to view it in tiers, right. 60 to 70, that's good play. 70 to 80, pretty darn good play. Let's think of it this way. Tavondre Sweat and Byron Murphy were in the 90s, I think like 91, 92 last season during a few games against Power 5 competition and then Mountain West competition. He posted a season-long grade of 86.2, and that wasn't just one being better than the other. His run defense was 86.1, coverage grade of 83.6. So Pro Football Focus can be whatever you want it to be, but over a certain amount of time, the trends are strong and shows a certain picture. He also had 38 tackles, 10 passes defended, 1 sack, and 3 interceptions. So this is somebody who can make plays on the football and help the Longhorns in that area. Trying to think, what are some other when you look at his size, he's listed at 5'11", 170. Could be a give or take there, but he seems like he's someone who plays at least a lot bigger than his size.
Yeah, he does, man. He's a long corner, long arm. So you would, you couldn't tell by his size how short he is. Like I said, he has the long arms, has a long body. So he's really, really, you couldn't, can't really tell how tall he is or how short he is. He may be maybe 5'10" and a half, but you wouldn't be able to tell. But he plays bigger than his stature. I tell you that. He's somebody you're going to hear. He's going to let you know he's there, and then he's going to live up to the talk. So, man, he's just one of those guys that, you talk about him tackling, right? Like, he's not afraid to get up and get in the mix, right? He's a physical guy who wants to be in the mix. Kind of reminds me of Marcus Peters, how he talks, but he backs it up. So that's what you get, Marcus Peters Jr. out there.
I was able to make contact with Javion, I think, last week when it started to get out that he was going to make a transfer. And I asked him, what are some of the reasons or who reached out to you first? I think the coach that reached out to him was Johnny Nansen. So there's a coach who I don't know if they saw if Arizona overlapped with San Jose State. Can't remember. Obviously, Brent Brennan, there's some overlap there with San Jose State and Arizona. But Johnny Nansen was the one who reached out, was the one who made the call to Cole. Obviously, Cole comes in. He had a visit scheduled, I believe, to Michigan State. Michigan State earned a commitment from a different DB. He canceled his visit there. Auburn was in the mix. Auburn was supposedly the next destination for Cole after his weekend trip to Austin, but that's not what he was not where he was interested in going. He shut it down with the Longhorns, and that's a win for the Texas defense. Obviously, a nice little feather in the cap of Johnny Nansen for helping out. And I like this quote from Cole from last week. Why is he interested in Texas? It's an opportunity to play at a Power 5 level. I know the production of Texas, so that's where my interest is. And funny enough, he said he wanted to make his decision toward the end of May. Texas showed him a lot over the course of this past weekend. And I think that's a very valuable thing to have, is that this guy started at Cal Poly, which is FCS. and overlooked, not highly recruited, someone who shows up and has a great year, and he decides, you know what, I'm going to try again. I'm going to try a new place, improve my lot. And he goes to San Jose State, plays really good group of 5 football on a good group of 5 team, impresses against USC. That was the big Power 5 opponent San Jose State had with that group of receivers, flawed and all. It's still great core, plays well against them. Now he tries again, has some high-profile programs after him, and he's someone who is looking to move up. And I think, you know, there can often be stargazing, and it's like, oh, he's a former 5-star. Right. Well, he's a former 5-star. That's the thing. This is someone who has improved his lot, and I'm wondering if you think, like I do, that this is going to be someone who's hungry, who's going to really try to prove it at this level.
Yeah, I think that's shown, right? Starting at Cal Poly, then moving up to San Jose State. I think that showed kind of the hunger, the attitude, the swag, and what we like to say, dog in him, right? To prove that he can continue to move up to the next level. And I think his play speaks for itself. Like I say, he went against the top guys at USC, faced Ricky White, and a host of others in the Mountain West Conference last year. Who could throw the ball. And he faced a lot of good, athletes and showed what he could do. So, yeah, coming to Texas, you're taking the ultimate step now, but I have no question, no doubt that he can do that. He's just the type of player he is. His personality and swagger that he carries, it's not worried. The level of competition won't matter to him.
Looking at how On3 ranked him, he was the number 42 prospect and the number 5 cornerback, so someone thought of pretty highly. And I do like this aspect that Will Owen brings to the table. Great pickup, going to give Santana Wilson time to develop and learn the defensive plays instead of a rush to play right away. It gives a lot of different guys time to develop, not just Santana Wilson, who's going to show up at the end of this month on campus. Kobe Black, for as talented as he is, isn't pressed into action right away. Same with some other younger DBs, like even Warren Roberson at cornerback, and I'm trying to think if there's any others. But this is a way for those guys to still develop, not be thrown into the fire, and not have to be freshmen learning against the wide receivers of the SEC how to make things happen. So good pickup for Texas. Coach, anything else? I know you're at a camp right now, and glad to have you on. Anything else on this one? I just know that you're excited about this pickup.
I definitely am excited, man. I think it's a guy who can step in and play right away, just have the understanding. Yeah, terminology may be different, but I think he picks it up quick. But just one thing, Texas fans, what you're getting out of Cole, man, he's really a coach on the field. He's not going to be, in this day and age, he's not a selfish player, right? He's going to learn the playbook, but he also wants to teach the younger guys. That's what he's about as a person, because he just wants to win. He's all about helping the younger development depth get better as well. So you're going to see a guy that's out there like fully committed and bought in, who wants to win, is going to try as hard as at Texas.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach, for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Like this video wherever you're at. Head to the Inside Texas Football YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel. We'll be bringing it with live breaking news all week whenever it pops up, especially in situations like this. Head to InsideTexas.com as well. You can get 2 months of Inside Texas. So through July 5th, past the holiday, you can get 2 months for just $1. You're not going to want to miss it. Great insight from Coach Justin Wells, Eric Naline, and everybody over at Inside Texas. Ian Boyd, Paul Wadlington, of course, everybody. So thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on the Inside Texas Football YouTube channel, powered by InsideTexas.com.